Warning: this show contains content and language some may find offensive. It is intended for mature audiences only. If you are easily offended, do not like to hear explicit language, or just have a whack and horrible sense of humor, you should probably stop watching right now. If you are still here, it means you are awesome and want to have a good time with us. If that's the case, we salute you. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, where is it? Why haven't they found it?
Veruca, sweetheart, I'm not a magician. Give me time.
I want it now. What's the matter with those twats down there?
Yeah, what's good, y'all? How y'all doing? It is the motherfucking Just Being Frank show. I am your host, Frank Marvici. I got my trusted sidekick right here to the right of me, Almighty L Infinite, everybody.
Yes, sir. Blessings to the world. Blessings to the world.
I don't even know how to do that shit.
I just do this. Boom. Bring it here.
I like that. I'm going to steal that shit. I'm going to do that. They're like, we didn't know you practiced martial arts. Yeah, what's good, everybody, man? Glad y'all here with us. Make sure before we get started that you like, subscribe, share, turn on your notifications, all that good stuff. To turn on the notifications, I just want to take a second. If you don't know, it's very important because you could like something, but if you don't turn on those notifications, you don't know when it comes on a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Unless you know the set schedule or whatever the case. Sometimes you just need a reminder. I don't know how many times it's like, hey, did you know this is on? Oh, shit, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
You know?
It'd be like that.
Out of your whole life, how many times do you think that's happened to you?
Needed a reminder?
Just know the reminding. Like that thing that like, hey, did you see this? Or something happens where it clicks in your brain.
It at this age, yeah.
I didn't expect you to have an actual number.
Yeah. No, at this age. There's no number.
Oh, yeah. Already. Yeah, never mind. So, that's good. Motherfucker, just month. Yeah. So we got a good show for y'all. We do have, it's just going to be me and Almighty L here tonight. We have recouping sidekicks and so forth. But, yeah, I'm happy, man, because like the last couple of shows, the cameras were a little like janky. Not the overall camera, but like if you move your arm, it was almost like it had trails.
Janky?
Yeah. There's a word for you. Janky. Jinkies. But yeah, no. It was just weird. And I figured, it was like sometimes some of these problems are the most stupidest fucking thing ever.
Like
I just had to turn an option back on auto for the camera settings.
But that's some shit that like only a computer guy would still have to know. Because like if I had all this, I'd have to call you.
You want to know? You want to know what did make it a little easier for me though? I remember turning off auto when trying to fuck with the cameras.
Oh.
So that's why this light's off tonight. So there's an option that's like exposure, the camera's exposure.
Okay.
And it kind of makes it like all like not just brighter or darker, but I know it kind of turns down some of the brightness of the lights, and that's why you could see this. And other times it's so bright you can't.
Okay.
So that's why you've been able to see it in the streams. But I'd rather sacrifice the light if it's killing the stream, the camera quality. So from turning off the exposure was making it just slightly, but enough to
the Matrix.
But enough to where it's like, yo, something's up. You know what I'm saying? Especially when the camera that's on all of us doesn't have that problem, and it's the same exact camera or type. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, I actually want all of those cameras, but I have the other one, but I don't know. Making 3 of them work together at the same time has been like super fucking tricky. So I've just given up. I mean, that's still a really good camera, but those 2 are just like better. I don't know. I like them better personally. Like you could see it right there.
Yeah, no, it's crispy.
It's pretty fucking good.
It's crispy. It's catching the gray nice.
Yeah.
Catching the gray nice.
Pie. Everyone loves my family sweaty balls. SNL skit. Yeah, man. So we got a lot to actually talk about tonight.
Unpack.
Yes. Unfold.
Yeah, I think it's funny when people say that.
Unpack.
Yeah, it's like
we have a mountain to unpack.
Yeah, I think Joe Budden was the first one I heard say that. He'd be like, "Tonight we'll be unpacking a lot, fellas."
There's a
lot to unpack.
That kind of correlates into getting shit done.
Yeah, we unpacked a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one thing I wanted to talk about. Just some great things that are helping push things forward in general. I wanted to try and see if we can pull up on Pinterest the some of the most current memes. I've just seen a couple, and I was like, oh, I wonder what's trending right now, and I started just reacting to it. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And it may be also in a negative way where it's like people find this funny. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny in itself,
right.
though.
It can be.
It's like, what the
I
fuck?
can usually find the humor in just about anything, though. It might not make it the funniest joke, but I can at least find where the person was going with it, to where I can at least appreciate the effort.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some shit you're like, yeah, that's not a good joke.
But even like, I mean, not to jump ahead because we were talking about like Saturday Night Live. Like, I find like a lot of their humor not as funny.
So I try to respect the fact that a lot of that is, turns into improv, at the end of the day. Like, yeah, they write the skits, but I know shit goes off skit and they improvise or it's not, they don't follow a tight script. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so you have to give at least a little bit of level of respect, I think, in that, which makes it okay when some of the jokes aren't as great because some of that shit's on the spot, but it's all situated, like it's seasonal and depending on who's involved. Like, so
very true.
I've watched some of the more current shit, and there's some hilarious moments. But a lot of it, yeah, like I don't know if they're still developing. Maybe they're still just all young, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case. But I go back and watch some of the other shows, and yeah, not every moment was a gut buster. But there's some fucking moments, and some that aren't even that old. So I actually just the other night watched a bunch of like best of SNL, not of all time, just like kind of that person's like some of their favorites, know. And it was a lot of it was the newer cast, and some of the moments were ridiculously funny.
Oh yeah.
But I think one of the last great periods was when Will Ferrell and Jimmy Fallon and all those cats were on it together. That was like one of the last great periods. And then before that, and even during some of that time, you had David Spade, Chris Farley, you had Adam Sandler, and then going back to even further to when Eddie Murphy was on, fucking, all them, Chevy Chase and all those guys.
So like, are they? And this is like a real question. When they're having these celebrities or actors or what have these comedians on, are they in their heyday when they're having them at this collective, or is this the catalyst to the heyday?
Like as far as what does that mean to the art, like the musician or whoever that's on there?
Is this the precursor to their success? Or
I think no, because they don't really do up and coming hosts.
Okay,
they do establish.
So they're already
established. Yeah, they don't use this to big them up. They're trying to have the best of the best scenarios.
So when Will Ferrell and all them was on there, they had
for the actors that are on it. Yeah, I thought you were talking about the host. So yeah, no. The actors that are on it, generally speaking, are up and coming. They usually use that as a platform to break out and do other things. Some of them may still stay for a while. But I think if you do that, you have to be under the head writer and whoever, like pretty much that runs shit at Saturday. You have to be like under his like movie production company if you are still on them. Or like I think he might even have helped a few launch their own, like Adam Sandler being one of them. I don't know if Lorne Michaels is a part of the first one, or not. Yeah, I couldn't tell you that. I feel like I want to just double check real quick and make sure this is on the group page from Arvici Media, because this is the first time I've done it.
Like after I'm done with my music, I definitely want to dive into more media stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to, keep that shit open for. All right, yeah, cool. It is on Facebook. Nice.
Yeah, that's
or the group page. Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, no. I feel you because
I'm not gonna continue to make music. It's kind of like what I'm about to drop is gonna be like that's.
Yeah, and or you get back to it at some other point. You know what I'm saying? Like if you get that urge that you want to be creative in that avenue again, or down that avenue, I should say. But yeah, that's why I've already kind of started trying to work down the streaming route. You know what I'm saying? And like this is so much easier in reality. Not to say that so one of the things that I'd like to do is actually, for the first time, really do the writing that we've been talking about for the show, and really start actually putting that into fruition.
Yeah.
And shit like that. But at the end of the day, sometimes I think it's easier still to sit there and write skits and do things and I love that a lot.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
I mean, we could, but that's why I said I honestly, with all the writing I'm doing now, I would just need like a break from the writing I'm doing to do that writing.
Right. I know exactly what you're talking about because it's just like the same thing with the studio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, you don't want one to suffer.
No.
I actually have a dope line that I haven't like put it out.
Oh, like you talking about like a line for music?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of coincides with that incense.
Oh, you gotta say that. You gotta have that.
I've been trying to drop more knowledge.
Yeah.
Rather than I took what, not to say I'm gonna completely not rap the way I do. I always gonna rap the way I do. You know what I'm saying? But I took what you said to Timmy and it talks to heart a little bit. You said, be humble and spit with that ferocity. You know what I'm saying? Do it humbly or whatever the case may be. And yeah, like I kind of take.
Hopefully he heard me.
He more than has the capabilities.
He definitely does.
What was I gonna say? So yeah, back to the Saturday Night Live thing, so we don't forget. They've really have helped launch a lot of great careers.
That I'm aware of. Yeah. I just wasn't sure if like they got a guy that was already kind of like funny, had like a couple things out, and then said, oh, you know what, that guy's funny, imagine him with this group, and then they add him to that group, and then that just catapulted him even further. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you already answered the question.
Yeah, I was gonna say, generally speaking, they start off with Saturday night and go, whatever route, or they're stand-up comedians first, and then usually they'll audition.
And there's no other like platform that really does that like that, right?
Yeah, Matt. I don't know if Matt
Matt's
TV,
still out.
I don't know. I can't say. So what's happened a lot is people have moved to their own medians.
Oh,
right, like YouTube, and they're doing their own channels because it's like, what do you really need to audition and be a part of something? Granted, it may pay, but the exposure that they're getting from this shit and selling merch and whatnot, they're getting paid.
Yeah,
if you're pretty much making the same you would make doing that and you're blowing the fuck up,
right?
It all depends on where you want to go with it. You know what I'm saying? I guess at the end of the day, like, but I imagine, I can't say I can name any off the top of my head, but I gotta imagine there's gotta have been some social media stars that have done more than just be social media stars. None of them gone on to act in movies or anything. Can you think of any of that?
I personally can't, but I'm sure they're out there. Definitely.
Yeah, I would think so, right? I just can't think of any names.
I mean, how did what's her name start? The lady that Tiffany Haddish, didn't she start off on social? Oh, Jess Hilarious started off on social media first.
Oh, word.
And she's hilarious.
No. Yeah, we could talk about that later. Actually, we could segue into that now. So it's funny you say that because there's a lot of people, I'm going to say probably primarily men, that just don't find women funny, especially stand-up comics. I just don't find them funny.
I feel like that's like some hating shit.
I almost kind of feel like it too because
that's bullshit.
Women can be funny in my eyes, like just as funny as dudes.
Like my children's mother is hilarious. I hate to admit that, but she is. There's like
Renee's got her moments too.
Exactly.
So,
so like, yeah, I hate to admit that because she be like, yo, you don't think I'm funny, but I really do. I just don't be trying to feed her because she's funny because gut dies with the shit she says. I'll be like,
yeah, me and Renee have gone back and forth, like more often than not. Like we're usually joking back and forth and create, usually it's like some kind of theme scenario. Like, yeah, I seen this fucking weird lady at the store. I was like, what was she doing this? And she was like, yeah, fucking probably blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And like, we'll run on for like 10 minutes, laughing and shit. Like,
Moody's hilarious.
Yeah, Moody's fucking hilarious.
And that's just people we know.
Right.
So that's
but like,
bullshit.
For stars, like someone that's funny as Katie, what is her name? Katie McCarthy? She's kind of a heavy set.
She's funny.
Yo, she's fucking hilarious though.
Didn't she do the puppet shit? Wasn't she the lady that did the puppets? The puppets where they were like adult puppets and it was like nutting all over the place. You didn't see that movie?
Oh, what are you talking about? Team America? The movie? They're like wood puppies?
I forgot about that shit.
America!
Not that.
Fuck yeah!
This was like, they were like, her partner was a cop. I mean, her partner was a puppet. They were cops. And she was like the part.
Maybe. I don't think I've ever said. Oh, wait. I can't. Maybe. No.
She's the one that did the robbery, right? She put the bag over her head.
Yeah.
It rolled over the counter.
Yeah. Yo,
women are hilarious.
Watching her on Saturday Night Live, she was on there. She was on there. She did a couple funny ass fucking characters. Yo, like I said, it's hard because like you know, to sit here and be spontaneously funny and like improv and most comedian, I would say probably all comedians can be that. Some are probably better than others, you know what I'm saying? Like controlling a room and shit. But you have, but a lot of times when you're, instead of just being able to come up with whatever you want to do off the top of your head and do a character, you're now trying to do a story that still kind of is written. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it doesn't necessarily give you the chance to maybe do something that you would do, because then you're like not conforming to the character that you are. But sometimes some of these comedians are so good that they can do that while still kind of making it believable for the character. Right. You know what I mean? There's a couple.
Like Bridesmaids was funny as fuck.
I think I've seen it. I just can't remember it.
And then there's like,
I thought like Legally Blonde was funny and shit like that. It's like, it's not like my favorite comedy, but yeah, it has some moments, and it's not just her that, you know, there's some funny ass characters in it.
Yeah, dudes are hating.
I think dudes are hating personally. I know Adam Carolla.
I don't even know who that is.
So he was him and Jimmy Kimmel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you heard Jimmy Kimmel, right?
Funny.
They had the Man Show together back in the day, where chicks in bikinis would just jump on trampolines for like the commercial break segments and stuff. Yeah, you know, they drink beer right on the show. It was pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? They didn't get crazy, but just like trying to run with that theme, a man show. Look, we got beer. There's chicks jumping in trampolines with bikinis and whatever. So I think he started there, if I'm not mistaken, with him, and then now he runs like one of the biggest podcasts. And but I think he went on a show and even said it, that he just doesn't think women comedians are funny. I don't know if he said all women comics like in general or just stand-up comedians, because there is some that, you know, are just in stand-up. I don't know if he was necessarily referring to them or not, but he just said they're not funny. I've listened to some stand-up female comedians that are hilarious though, so I can't. Or maybe I just find more shit funny. You know, there's some people that think there's an art to everything. They can't just appreciate the surface level sometimes. That not everything has to have depth and, you know, not a secret meaning, but you know what I'm saying? Some third eye shit. Some shit can just be dumb, ignorant stuff or whatever. You know, you ain't got to always be trying to take things to the next level. And I think they use like the fact that women will talk about womenly shit in funny manner and stuff like that.
But we talk about manly shit.
But that's what I'm saying. You can't be a hypocrite. Like,
see, that's where shit gets weird. I don't know.
But I meant, you know, as far as the art, like in music and so forth, like all the way down, there's got to be extra shit. Some shit just can't be dope for what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Kim Wayne's in Living Color was ridiculous.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like, she was mad funny, dude. She nailed all of her fucking characters too.
Ridiculous. Like the more and more you think about it, it's just a blasphemous statement.
Yeah. I mean, shit. There's
Monique.
I was gonna say I don't know if Amy Schumer, because I guess she's a thief, anyways.
But she didn't really make me laugh.
She has some funny shit. You know what I'm saying? I like sometimes like that white drunk girl, college girl humor. You know what I'm saying? It could be funny, but I like when shit may be an obvious route to take, but it's still done in like a creative way.
Yeah.
You know, what she said, this female comic was like, if you can't tell from my cleavage, I just broke up recently with my ex. She's like, what did she say? She's like, no, my only concern was I was afraid people were going to recognize me on the internet. You know, talking about like, I was like, she had me dying, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't necessarily like groundbreaking humor. It was kind of still falling on the shit that any comic would normally kind of use, you know? But
she could have made that shit up on the fly, like right there, just to grab the crowd real quick. Like,
no. That's the way I like to kind of do it. Like you have some loose lines you know you're gonna hype in on, but the rest of you just improv. You know, when I first did stand up comedy myself, dude, I straight wrote everything down, like almost like even the breaths. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting a little silly with it, but it was like almost to that level. You know what I'm saying? And I followed it. Yeah, it says it breathes hard.
Size.
Then you got to do size. But and I really kind of followed the script, and then as time gone on, like I've noticed, like by doing that I can't pander to certain crowds. You know what I'm saying? So I might tell the same joke, but the way I deliver it is completely different, you know?
Based on how you segue into it, right?
Right, and like even the delivery could differ. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I realize, I'm just I limit myself, and not only that, you sometimes like you come up with funnier shit that's the improv than what's actually written. So I think, but that's I started realizing what you're, in the beginning stages in comedy, what you're really doing is trying material out on people.
Seeing what sticks.
That's really all you're doing. And I guess like the comedy path that a lot of comedians take is you do that. You like, go to like dive places and say all your jokes, kind of work them all out and figure out your shit. And then you go do a special. You know what I mean? It's pretty, or a tour. You know what I'm saying? When you got your shit perfected. So I started looking at it like that too. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm taking this shit too seriously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just be funny.
There's quite a few specials on Netflix with comedy, but there was one I had started watching recently that had me dying. I don't remember what it was called, but like it literally just has the guy come up. Well, there's the host, then he brings the guy out or the girl.
No.
They do their bit, and that's the episode, and another one comes on. I just
so
can't
it's
remember.
only one per?
Yeah, one per.
I would still watch that though, yeah.
It is cool though, because you get to like see like the upcoming. If they're upcoming, they might be already.
Yeah, who knows? It could be established in there, at least even in their circle. You know what I'm saying?
But some of them were like really funny.
That's the one thing I hope like never dies is the humor. I think humor is just one of those things. It's a coping mechanism.
It's a higher vibration. Like it gives you higher vibrations immediately.
It makes like, I mean, not to say it heals everybody, but it can heal you. You know what I mean?
Especially for that moment.
Yeah, that's how I actually get through shit.
Unless you're like a real life dickhead, like real life dickhead.
There's definitely a lot of those.
Like, I mean, I've been told I'm a dickhead, but I think that's just because they're pussy.
Yeah, you're a dickhead.
And you're pussy.
Oh, damn! I walked right into that one. Yeah, man.
T.I. is just dropped or did something stand up.
They really?
Yeah,
he's got some moments.
He's got you think T.I. is funny?
Nah, he's not a funny person in general, at least from what I've seen. But I have seen some moments where he's funny. Like there was a moment where Kevin Hart was on the red carpet, and he was like, he found out that One Direction broke up, and he was like, what? He's like, yo, T.I., did you know that? T.I. came over, he's like, what? He's like, One Direction broke up. T.I. was like, what? You know what I mean? Kind of making it seem like, rolling right with fucking Kevin Hart. And then he's like, yeah, man, what about Zach? And T.I. was like, who? He's like, Zach, Zach. He goes, oh, and then at the same time, Zach. I started dying, And so, like, he's shown he's had some moments, that he's funny. So,
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, if he's really trying to do it, who knows? I try to at least go into things like with an open mind on that shit.
I don't like his dreads though. He's gonna have to.
He's got dreads.
He's got like baby dreads. That's what makes it crazy. It's like they're hanging on. It's like I don't know if I could believe a guy with
baby dreads. Yeah. You got to start somewhere.
They're anorexic. No, it's not that they're short. They're short and thin. It's like just let it go.
Right. It's not happening.
Let it go.
Let it go. Yo, that's hilarious. Yo, I do. I want to mention though, like I know, like I text you about it, but how excited I am that I got that fucking deal on those fucking plugins, dude.
Oh, yeah. You said $1,500.
Yo,
$1,500 worth.
I added it all up, probably about like $3,500. I think it came out to be like $34, like $60. I bought a couple more too, but
is Melodyne in there?
What does that use? I don't have that per se, but I probably have a plugin or two that does
that function.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know what it does?
It just alters your smoothness.
So like an EQ,
smooths it out, basically, in a way. But it's more on the auto-tune side.
Oh,
without using auto-tune.
So I got something that's called Waves Tune.
Okay.
That's if you're not using auto-tune, generally speaking, in these professional studios out there, you're usually using Waves Tune. Not to say there's probably umpteen amount of other great plugins also. It's just those are the kind of industry standard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so what I've actually, it's funny you've been saying that because I just downloaded an app that should tell me the key of any beat.
That's
so I
important.
can use it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I've already kind of learned the basics of it. I just have to figure out the key situation because if you ain't got that, it's not going to sound right.
No.
You know what I mean? And depending if you're using major or
minor,
you know, whatever the case, it's I think, what is it? Generic, minor, generic, or I can't remember, but there's like, I think the two major ones that you'll use is like major or minor generic, whatever the fuck it's called. And then from there, A, B, C, whatever the case may be, you know? But yeah, so the couple that I have are, again, not to say you can't get others, because I hate saying like they're the dopest, but like the F6 equalizer is one of the dopest out there because it's a dynamic equalizer. So what that means is like, while the song's playing, you can adjust EQ on just those parts of the song live, and then it stays that way. So that way you're not adjusting it for the whole track.
Really?
You're literally just doing it for that section of songs, whether it's one bar, one word, you know what I'm saying, that you just can't catch what adjusting the frequency, or the level of the frequency, I should say. So like, again, this is shit
you could basically isolate parts of the
actual the vocal itself.
Wow.
Live, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So that way, like, as it plays along, it just do your setting and then right back to the way you had it once that part's over. And you can continuously do it as much as you want.
Wow.
To the best of my knowledge, yeah. I don't think it really matters because, yeah, you're doing it live. You know what I'm saying? Wow. So yeah, so that's like one of the best ones you can use. And then there's these Renaissance plugins that, like, not all, because again, some have their favorites that they like using for whatever the reason. I've seen a lot of cool ones too. There's this other EQ plugin that's not by Waves, that you just click how many bands you want to affect with the EQ. And that shit's dope because you're generally speaking, not that you can't to a degree kind of do that with EQs already, but you generally speaking have to pick your max. So if you're using a four band, 6 band, whatever, 10 band, this one you just click. And I don't really think it has a limitation like that. So you can really make some intricate adjustments that, you know, what a lot of other ones you can't. The only question you start asking yourself is, do I need to? And that's why, like, I looked at it and just got the F6 with Waves instead. You know what I'm saying? But Waves are some really dope ass plugins. And then from there, I switched DAWs, which is really a big deal because one of the things that I was noticing as I was trying to mix our track was I was getting crashes, like the certain certain plugins, just because they're older. So you know, it's funny. I watch all these tutorial videos and they're all using plugins from Waves that I already have, but they're the older versions and I can't update them. So I was like, fuck this, dude. You know what I'm saying? And
that's why you were saying
that's inspired all that.
But that's also why you were saying, well, yeah, if you just do it over there or whatever, it's better than me, because I had to basically wanted to use the new DSW or whatever. What is it called? You wanted to use the updated version, which means you would have had to scrap what we recorded.
Exactly.
Right.
And all the adjustments I made, and but it would be worth it in the long shot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what I was saying too. Like, I use the correct way a lot, and some of the stuff I was trying to describe to you, not because like, oh, now I'm the master better than anybody else. I don't even care about being at that, but even if you still can kind of hack it, which I've been hacking it for years, you know what I'm saying? I'm still kind of hacking it in reality, just using my ear, you know? But anybody can find a way to still release some pretty dope shit. Like, it doesn't matter. And we've been doing it, right? But when you really kind of learn how to do something the right way, and like I'm really learning a lot more about frequencies and how important certain ones are to kind of nullify, and, you know, whether it's sibilance, like finding out that also, there's a lot of times how you record, when you record it, if you record it consistent reality, you don't even need to add any compression. You can just do EQ, maybe do a little de-esser, call it a day, unless you wanted to put special effects in. Of course, that's always a different conversation. But, you know, anyway, so the DAW that I've switched to is like, I don't have to worry about those problems no more. And mind you, I encourage everybody to grab this shit and make great music. So if you're looking for a DAW, if you don't know what a DAW is, then this isn't for you. But if you know what a DAW is, look into Reaper. If you haven't looked into Reaper, it's a great DAW. You can, and the themes galore. I can make it look, function, and everything pretty much just like Pro Tools, just like Logic, just like Ableton. Like whatever, I just throw the theme on, and it literally pretty much becomes that program. It's like that sick. You can have you know how you have multiple tracks, right?
Yeah.
On one track, you can have one segment that's mono, one that's stereo, one that's whatever on one. Can't really do that on any other DAW.
What?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it doesn't care. It just knows it's a track.
Wow.
You know. What I like too is I think you can do this with any DAW, but so there's a way that you can listen to yourself just when the mics are on and shit, right? But I also have it to where we can listen through the program and have it to where it still matches up to your voice, so that it doesn't throw you off at all. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty dope, because I don't know, it just kind of gives you. It gives you like a chance to cut out unwanted noise like right off the rip, and just a lot of different shit. You know what I'm saying? I think there's another reason for it too, and I can't remember why. Irrelevant. But yeah, so so I switched to that. I got a couple of themes that I really like. I've learned a lot more about, like, instead of applying shit all to like one track, to kind of group them up into buses, which I already kind of knew, and I tried to do back in the day.
We did that back in the day. That's how you taught me on there.
That's what I was.
Scooter buses.
With Cakewalk.
Yeah.
But you know, the problem with it is that I remember with that back in the day, the version we had initially didn't let us do that. Remember?
Do the buses?
Yeah, remember that was my biggest complaint, because I was just working with Pro Tools, and I was like, I think we had to end up having to upgrade the version, if I'm not mistaken, so that we can
whatever
do it.
we did. I know the computer ended up crashing. We lost everything. There's stuff that was in there that we recorded that you don't even remember, and I don't even remember. There was stuff that we were just working on, and that was when I was like playing with all different types of shit. If I would have continued up to this point, I would have probably been really good.
Yeah, I know what that feeling is like, because I lost everything back in the day with Kindred shit. Like all the fucking instrumentals and shit. All I had was the finished record tracks. There's a bunch of beats. Lost match shit. That killed like a big part of me for a while.
It does.
Well,
like,
never made that mistake again, though. Well, at least try not to, because there's still plenty of time.
Yeah.
Oh shit. But yeah, no, I'm very excited as far as like where the music's gonna go, just from having acquired this shit. But it's not that I just required, because a lot of shit I already had it, but it just like rewoken me back up to remembering fucking with it.
The awakening.
Yeah, and now I'm trying to learn whatever I can to be using it properly. So I will never fake the funk that I'll ever be as good as like a trained professional, but I'll get as good as one has to. So where, unless you're a trained professional, you wouldn't know. You know what I mean? And I ain't making music for trained professionals, so
yeah.
Fuck it.
I mean, you
until I get to the point where I can pay.
But
paid professionals.
you're obsessive with perfection.
I very am, dude. It's almost a curse, though.
Yeah, but it also makes things come out good.
True, but it makes it that much longer to come out, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta have somebody come in and be like, Frank, it's done.
I want to get to the level where I literally don't have to touch a damn thing.
Yeah.
But I also trust what that person's going to do 100%. Like, they know how to cater to my vocals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I can't really also, until I get to a level where I can work with those types of engineers and, you know what I'm saying, whatever. I got to figure out that to teach to somebody else if they can't do it themselves.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yo, it's crazy though. There's so much content, man. If you ever want to learn anything, you literally can go onto YouTube. You literally can go onto the fucking web. It doesn't mean you'll learn everything right. I just want to say that. Just know that. You know, not everything should be necessarily watched on YouTube. And I say that because a lot of those do-it-yourself home projects, you know, you think they might be teaching you correctly on YouTube, or life hacks. Some of those you find out that there is no hacks in life.
No, I was gonna say, how to get your life together. You get all these people.
Everything, just like, you know,
you gotta become Buddhist. You gotta eat beef. You gotta be alkaline. You gotta draw pictures. You gotta eat peanut butter.
I think everybody is trying to tell somebody how to do something.
Yeah, that's how they get paid, because everybody wants to be wealthy at some point, in some way, shape, or form, whether it's spiritual, mental, or physical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So everyone's winning.
No. But as long as you're not misleading people, you know. But people are dumb enough to follow you, then I guess it's on them. I didn't lead you down that fucking path. Don't blame me, motherfucker.
You just trying to make music.
All right. I'm just trying to make music. That reminds me of Eminem's second album.
Sweet music.
When he had a couple of the songs that like addressed that shit. I never knew I.
Yeah.
That's actually a dope track. I never knew I.
That was cool.
Yeah, he talks about like, I didn't know this kid was gonna do this shit based off this lyric. Like, how the fuck am I gonna, you know?
I'm actually presently not listening to anybody new. Like, usually because you know I'm always
Yeah, you usually up
searching.
on shit,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. There's nobody like that I'm listening to right now that's newer than what we were already listening to the last time we talked about somebody new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think once I banged out a shit ton of Griselda,
Yeah.
like in some of these different musics, like as of late, you know, and it kind of like one of the last releases that I've actually really caught was Kanye's Off the Grid.
Yeah, that was
I kind of
fire.
haven't listened to anything for the most part new.
Well, I'm still
beyond that.
listening to albums.
Right.
But when I'm saying new, like, you know, there's
You
always
listen
like
to
a,
shit that's already been out.
yeah,
like-
yeah. Well, I'm saying, you know how there's always like a new artist that's you might like or not like.
It's kind of like keeping your ear to the
Doesn't-
beat.
Yeah. I don't. There's nobody. I'm looking.
Well,
I'm looking to hear somebody that like does it, but I haven't. There's nobody that's moved me since Toby.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Before Toby was Kimbada. Before Kimbada. Well, I say it was Kimbada. Then it was Griselda. Then it was Toby.
so yeah, I would say just the natural order of things was Cambada, like to just kind of get me reinvigorated, and then,
Yeah.
and Tory. Actually,
Tory's fire.
Tory first, and I love the fact that he can sing or he can rap.
He's an artist.
Yeah, he does it. You know
You
what
see
I'm
what
saying?
he's doing now?
I've tried to keep up, but I can't. He
Yo.
releases a lot of content.
He's on the 80s shit. He got the Jerry curl
Is he?
and all that. Yeah, yo, he like I fuck with Tory. Man.
I just like the fact that like you can really tell like he's confident in who
Completely.
he is and who he is as a, like you know what I mean. And
And he's funny.
yeah, and that's a level of like respect
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I also like what he does. You know, like he actually makes good shit. So, but yeah, no. I listened to him first, and I was like, oh, and it kind of made me start freestyling a little bit. I think I started like I wrote a little like 8 bars or whatever, and then Cambada, and I was like, oh shit, that had me thinking on a different level. And then Russ,
Is fire.
I heard him next, and then you busted Toby onto me,
Yeah.
and that. At that point, I was ready to
Yeah,
start
Toby's kinda
really
like
writing again.
At the pinnacle of creativity. You know who? Oh, D Smoke is fire.
D Smoke.
Yeah.
You know, I have seen a couple of. You know what I've actually been watching more is like radio appearance freestyles.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, because generally speaking, they usually write that shit
Yeah.
for the fucking radio appearance. And it's been cool. And I think Little Dicky's the first one that kind of got me back into that because I'd watched the show and like watch clips on YouTube. So in my suggestion, you know,
pop up
actually
anything.
before, I seen it before, but it popped up again. His last freestyle, I think it was on Sway in the Morning, and or the Sway Show, whatever.
The
you
one
know
where
what I mean?
he starts fucking gyrating on the chick.
No, but he gives a chick flowers. No, not that one.
Oh.
He gives a chick. He goes, like, Stacey, I brought you flowers. You know, but no, he does a couple things. Like he breaks down in one part of the verse where he's like, "Yeah, I just can't do the Schmurder dance. Like, I just get off beat." And he's like, "Yeah, you can't get it." He's like, "Nah, I mean sometimes I get it." And then boom, right back into the flow. I was like, "Yo, this motherfucking man, he can really rap though." Little Dick really. I know we had this conversation, but anyways, but watching that, and then all of a sudden, like, I was like, "Fuck it." Then I watched the
RJ Payne.
RJ Payne one, and then I watched the Royce the 5'9" one on 106 or whatever it was, and the leakers, and I was like, then I just got sucked into a shit ton of them, and I was like, damn, you know, it made me feel good because a lot of this shit is like current shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this shit's not like from 2015, 15 or 14.
Los's?
It's like 2020,
LA
20, 21. Yes, I believe so. I think is that when he had all white on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was
think
majority
so.
white. I think he had like something on top of the white first,
Mm.
and then as like he keeps rapping, eventually that comes off and he ends up in white.
Yeah, but no, I definitely had seen something from him. Yeah, a bunch. There's this other cat, I can't remember what his name is, but he was pretty dope. Yo, there's this new kid that signed to fuck what the name of it is.
That's probably the dude I'm trying to think of his name.
BTE?
No, he signed to TDE.
TDE.
And I can't remember his name,
He's
but
real
he's
like
fire.
charismatic when
He's
he
fire.
spits. Yo,
He's dark-skinned,
real,
right?
Yeah.
So
real
one
fire.
of his
He
videos,
kept looking back and spitting to both of them.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
nasty.
Yo, he was real sick. I was like, yo, and then he spit like that from the heart shit,
Yeah,
like that
he's
last.
Can you remember his name?
No,
Because it's like his name, right?
I want to find out because I can't remember, but I am eager.
He's fired. I was trying to remember his name when you were thinking of the people. Because I think it's like his actual name. But he signed to TDE. Oh, well, he got a video too where he's like walking in the street.
this dude. Ray Vaughn.
Yeah, he's nasty.
Actually, I might as well play a little bit.
And this crazy white
That shit. That's what YouTube goes off as sound.
Oh, that's Tommy's version of Power.
This should be. Oh yeah, I seen that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can fuck with this shit anymore.
I could fuck with. I gotta
I've
watch
seen
Tommy. There's no way.
Shit,
I haven't watched that other one. I'm not into that fucking.
Oh, there we go.
Watching the little big head kid Tyreek. I'm not really into that.
Ah, yeah, I know what you're
Yes,
saying.
sir.
Me
LA
neither.
Leakers, just incredible. DJ
yeah.
Sour Milk.
Play some of this because he's dope.
And Ray Vaughn.
He's all happy to be there.
Holy shit, Snoop Dogg, my favorite rapper.
Come on, dog.
That's who got me rapping.
hear it.
Snoop.
You know, rest in peace, Nate.
Yeah.
That was my
The
guy.
greatest. I tell these fake ass rappers, if you don't get involved, I'm gonna knock your ass
What's
out.
yours?
Look,
Funny, right? And
Wolverine, the way I heal through all my growing pains. I know niggas who got it worse, that's why I don't complain. Cream pie, you gotta see the shit I overcame. But I'm the last airbender, I control the wave. It's flexibility on their words, look how they been the truth. They don't like to show their true colors, cause they got hidden hues. I'm in a Billy coupe with a bitch that look just like Betty Boop. No 1942, she from the beach, so she get gin and juice. The bitch keep going through my phone, she give Top and Snoop. I'm legendary, like the night I met with Top and Snoop. I branched out and I started black. This is rotten fruit, but Top don't sign niggas who mumble or rap like Dr. Seuss. I open fire on my enemies, it's case closed. The bottom bunk's the only time I ever laid low. See, they turned their cap on, you see they fake bold. I'm feeling generous, watch me give his ass a halo, cause they don't wanna see me eat. Well, what's the point of EBT? Locust said, nigga, I'm still flexing with that EDD. My auntie did my taxes this year, we ain't even speak. My cousin here, but they still blessed him with that PPP. I Jim carry my unfortunate events. From the bottom to now, I had to build it like suspense. I'm loyal, not barbed wire, never been on the fence. Then if pain makes you stronger, I'm Hercules with the strength. I've been outside, and I ain't seen you niggas in months. Problems like Anthony Tippett, I gotta roll with the punch. Whoopee cushion, all these niggas out here faking the funk. Swimming in depth, well damn, that's how you end up in trunks. They take you out midday, I guess you go in the front. I'm toxic, my bitch in the car, but put my bro in the front. I'm cold, they nose from the run, I paint your host in a bun. It's a lot of money in this world, I'm trying to go get a bunch. Look, warlock, we keep a room. I only ran from afternoon, used to be in English honors, I know how to read a room. Trial dates was coming soon. Granny used to say I'm doomed. Playing on me no auto-tune. EBT benefits. I was born a degenerate. Chasing after commas cause family completing sentences. A lot of rappers in my age group really be hit or miss, but I don't miss shit. And I always got a hit to give. Long Beach yachts like my portion, this off the top. This ain't musical chairs, ain't no tricking me out my spot. See, they double cross me and thinking that I forgot. So into the finish line of my soul inside of a box is gonna be fuck y'all. My whole vibe don't do not disturb. Cause y'all put me through some shit that I did not deserve. Mama's banging 21st where all the gunshots occurred and enemies get stopped like they forgot the words.
He's fucking sick with it, yo. Like every single line.
And his music is like that.
Is it really too?
Yeah.
I can't say I listened to it.
Yeah.
I just seen this like, if not yesterday, the day before.
Yeah, I
was like,
immediately
woo.
had this hear the music because you know they prepared for this,
Right.
So I was like, I gotta hear if like this is like, and it is
what he
like,
actually does. Yeah.
And he makes songs, so you're like getting that in like song format. It's like whoa.
Yeah, I gotta definitely peep some of his shit because that was the first time I heard him, and I was like, yeah, this man's a beast. But I feel like that shit's not newer, but like still August 21. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, he's new.
So it's like, yo, this is the shit that's like coming back around, man. I'm loving it. Like, I mean, you got people that are, you know, been out there doing the not necessarily the mumble thing or whatever, that are still finding success.
Well, so I was literally about to say, like, so Bobby Shmurda finally dropped like his first song, his first official single, and that shit moves me just as much as that does.
Wait, who? Say that again?
Bobby Shmurda.
Yeah.
Like, he's not saying nothing as potent as that, but when I put on that song and I'm looking at the visuals, I'm just
What track is it again? Because I seen one of his latest ones.
It's where he's throwing money around. Like, he's like in a house.
Oh, yeah.
That shit gets me fucking like, I'm like, yo, this shit's fire. Like, the energy.
I don't know if I got a chance to really absorb it when I first heard it, but yeah, the energy I definitely
fuck with him, so it's like
sometimes like there's like I know cats aren't necessarily the lyrically greatest, but they make songs that like like you hear it, you right there with them. You know what I mean?
Robbie, bitch.
This, you know, and that's like I like when you can do like have that kind of energy, but and not even necessarily be the most lyrically dopest, but still just really and still come with some lyrics though. And like Tory does it a lot.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's just the attitude and the vibe. Like, it doesn't matter. He's not saying the hottest shit I've ever heard. I don't need that. You know what I'm saying? This is what I vibe with, right now, at least.
He's probably the most like braggadocious like rapper there is out there. There's probably other rappers that think they're bragging.
No, but he
the way
believes
he does
everything he's saying.
Yeah, the way he does it is like, Tory ain't fucking around.
I don't even feel like he emphasizes much.
Nah, you a dude.
No. What I mean, like, he may drop like obnoxiously like cocky shit.
Yeah,
but I don't think like it's a lie.
No,
and I think he really only for the most part really says shit that he really does can back up. At least that's the take I get. When he say he's really rolling in a Pearly Royce or whatever, like, that motherfucker's really got one.
Yeah.
He'll make sure like when he just gets it that he drops it in a song.
I mean, he made them build a whole like set for this 80s shit. Like, they're in there removing walls and putting in fucking stoves and all types of shit just to give him the 80s feel for the shit that he's rolling out with this whole 80s thing.
Oh shit.
He's arguing with people because he's got like a little thing where they follow him around, right?
What do you mean?
Like, he's got like a
like camera crew,
like a vlog.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's got like a little vlog on YouTube.
Oh no shit.
Yeah,
no, I did not know that.
So he'd be like arguing with the people, not arguing, but like because he's a comedian,
right?
So he's like, they're like, yo, that's not from the 80s. He's like, these are fucking leather pants, dog. Like, these are from the 80s. Like, chill. Like, so like, he's like, yo, they're trying to tell me.
Eddie Murphy wore him on stage. Yeah, that's fucking. Yeah, he is a funny motherfucker though. Yeah. But I like that's what I like. I'd have the conversation with my ex a lot where.
Well, somebody said something, right?
Oh yeah. I can't see the name. I think they have to download the app, and I can't remember the app. But whoever said hi to me and this motherfucker.
Peace.
We appreciate you, man. Really do. But yeah, so what the fuck was I saying? Oh yes. So we would have this conversation a lot, like, 'cause she was really good at like finding like dope people that no one's heard about. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I'd hate on some of the ones that she presented me. I'd be like, he's not really that great, or that song's okay, But she still gave independent like artists, if they were good, their dues. You know what I'm saying? And I did respect that of her. And but her argument with some of them was like, seeing why isn't this person like, out there and blown up? I'm like, they are. Look at their views. They got 63 million like views. You know what that adds up to in like Spotify and all these other medians? I'm like, this person doesn't need a label. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just need distro.
If they're in millions, they're good.
If you start averaging that, you're over. You're set, because now you have a platform to sell your merch, sell your songs, like all that good shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's over.
Yeah, you get to a point where no matter what you release, people will at least buy it and give it a shot. It doesn't mean they'll love it, but they'll buy it and give it a shot.
Right.
And at that point, you just need someone to take care of dishing the shit out for you, unless you really want to run every fine detail, which you can, but you're eventually going to have to hire other people. And, I think after a lot of times, a lot of that shit gets split down the line. Not all the time, but every time it gets split down the line, it's almost like you make the same from each approach you take. You know what I mean? When you start really generating that type of funds,
right? Because
you're either letting somebody else do it. Well, mind you, owning your shit that becomes uber successful is always going to be most beneficial if you own it. Whether you go public with it or whatever the case may be. But like, example, owner of Amazon, right? But sometimes until you're to that level, right? You look at it like, I'm either going to hire all these people to do this job, or I'll have this other platform that does it all for me and then pays me. You know what I'm saying? So I think you get to a certain point where it almost like you start actually entertaining that conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like I said, but then again, you own some shit and it pops off. That's a whole different fucking story, But I think, what I would probably suggest is starting off using it to where someone else is doing it for you, and get yourself to that point where you can hire your own crew, rent out your own spot to set up all the equipment to press shirts, and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whatever. But I think you'll find
Tech 9 shit.
I think you'll find that for the most part, though, most companies outsource all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Probably it's cheaper to let someone else fucking do it.
And now you can just, as you know, fucking upload your fucking image,
designs
your design, whatever the case may be, and they'll sell the shirts for you.
Yeah.
You get a percentage.
Yeah.
Like they're putting it on there. It's you never even see it.
No. Then again, and like, what are you going to do? You're going to run the machine yourself that does it? No, you're going to outsource that shit regardless. You know what I mean? That's the perfect scenario. Because, like, yeah, they not necessarily the cheapest way of producing each individual shirt, but when you don't have to worry about all the extra shit, no equipment breaking, you don't have to worry about stopping and going out your way to put things in the mail or you know whatever, go to UPS, whatever. And at that point, you probably just have them come to your house to pick up all the shit, or to wherever you're working out of. You know, and
like those DTG machines, they have to be ran like not all day, but there's a time where a certain cartridge has to be ran through, even when you're not printing. And that's
so the ink doesn't coagulate or whatever.
And that's daily. So even when you're not making money, you're spending money because that ink still has to be ran. It's crazy.
That's a lot of shit that people don't think about, though, is the cost of running everything down to the last detail.
Yeah.
You know what? Not that I've never considered it before, but really kind of really breaks down to is it worth it? Is like when you start mining cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, I don't really understand the mining part of it.
I don't really either, but I understand at the end of the day, it's like, it's something almost like, I look at it as almost like a game. You know what I mean? Like a video game in a sense, because it's a task where, you know, you set up this shit to mine as much of it for you, and that's like grinding in a fucking video game. You know, you fight, like if you played Warcraft or any like MMOs and shit, you're just grinding.
No, I understand that, but what is mining is collecting the crypto?
So exactly, like collecting the bits of it to turn it into a whole.
Okay, then I get
coin.
it now.
So but and if you do it, then you get that coin. The problem is it's not that easy. There's countless people mining it, and there's only so much left. That's why some other cryptocurrencies aren't as successful, because either they have way more to mine, which is like inflation, or they just don't have as many people that have mined it. You know what I'm saying? To put it more into circulation to grow its popularity.
Well, it's over now with the whole metaverse, like because crypto and all that's going to be one and the same. You'll be able to use the but all that is going to be fucking where you be billionaires in this fucking metaverse.
Yeah, people are already getting there.
Yeah,
like this new game called The Sandbox has dropped,
where you're buying digital real estate.
Buy digital real estate, and on that real estate though, you can make it like a game for other people. Like you can really do whatever you want. An online store, I guess. Like, you know. But that's dope. Like you can make your own game within a game in this voxel world. Yeah. But then from there, all the art and designs and logos and so forth are the NFTs that you can design within the game itself.
Right.
Yeah, that's like it's crazy. But we're getting closer to having that become more of like a very prominent part of reality. Like it's there, right? But we still have a lot of older folk that just aren't into all that shit. That
they might not be into it, but they're
gonna get faded to fuck out.
Yeah, like they're gonna be fucked when all these young billionaires just running around and they don't know why.
Yeah, it's already happening.
I mean, I was gonna say that it's happening, but like it's kind of like, you know, when space exploration is really like popping.
Well, it's really getting there.
Yeah, but when you but then that goes
is like changing the game.
But what I'm saying is like literally,
it's not, that would be the next frontier.
It's the next frontier. So you kind of want to be a part of that, so you can, because that opens up jobs. That means that now you get into exobiology. Think about that. Now there's going to be new college courses and so forth and so on. People are going to be able to go, if they have the money or they have the crypto, to be able to go to these other planets to actually start putting up fences and buying real estate and so forth. It's just another frontier, literally.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you don't want to be left back there.
No, but I've been wanting Ready Player One for a long, since I've seen the movie. Well, I've always kind of wanted that to begin with, but ever since I've seen that movie,
you're never going to work.
I can't wait till I'll find a way to make money through it.
You'll probably work from.
That's what I'm saying. I would have a job within it. You know what I mean? Probably or something. But who knows? You know what I mean? Well, if I could sell cars, why couldn't I be a salesperson in a digital world?
We're definitely headed there. There's no way that's not happening.
Well, that's why, like, I have a lot of people are always concerned about old things being phased out, and I was kind of one of those people at one point until I understood where it was going, more or less. And like now I can see how my life could easily transfer into that.
So check it. You seen Celestials yet?
Yes.
Okay, so
Oh, you mean Celestials or Eternals?
Eternals.
Yeah. The Marvel movie?
Eternals. Yeah,
Yeah,
Eternals.
Eternals.
I keep calling it Celestials.
Celestials are in it.
I know, but we keep seeing where clearly where my mind is,
Yeah.
because I don't really care about the Eternals clearly.
Right.
But that's what I was trying to explain to you before. That's kind of like a piece of what I was trying to explain to you like a couple years ago when I was just like, yo, I feel like we're being watched by what we think we actually are, and what we are is not what we are at all. Like, meaning, like, I think we are technology, and the humans built us, and they're calling it aliens, so that we think that that's the alien, when in reality it's humans that created us, and we actually think we're human, but we're not. We're advanced technology. And that's what, and then now Eternals comes out, and that's basically what that was.
Kind of, in a sense, yeah.
So
and the purpose was different, but
is it?
Well,
you don't know your purpose.
Well, yeah. I'm just saying in that regard of the movie. You know, there were like individual like protectors, so to speak.
Right.
But like the Celestials themselves didn't really give a fuck about like. And not until at least the end, after an Eternal rebelled and went against the rules for them to pass judgment if a planet should exist or not. But otherwise than that, they don't give a fuck about life. They're just cultivating more Celestials.
To build life, though.
To build life, but it's because they know on a mass level of what they're building, like no individual one thing really becomes that important to them. They don't really give a fuck about humans on Earth and there's countless civilizations doing their own thing.
Yeah, but it's also like when you become such an advanced intelligence,
they did experiment and create human and Eternals and Deviants, the Celestials. Yeah. So I guess I can't say that. I guess that's not correct.
Yeah. They definitely care, but they don't
experimented.
They don't care to the regard of to the capacity of a human.
What is dope though is that but they made it like the Celestials are like the Anunnaki, at least for humans, like that kind of intervention with. Civilized man thus far and mixing DNA and so forth.
But there's something over them.
Eternal. Eternity. Eternity is like the top, is the embodiment of everything. You know what I mean? But what's crazy is
So where's Galactus fit in this?
Galactus is pretty much a Celestial.
Really?
Like on that level, yeah. Like, not to say he can't fuck up any Celestials, you know, stronger than, but
it's easy.
But some believe he is a Celestial because in reality, Galactus needs to exist. So as the Celestials make shit, like he's there to keep the balance by consuming shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he does his part to make sure things kind of stay at its order. You know what I mean? It doesn't grow too crazily.
So Thanos is just doing too much. Technically,
Thanos became, when he got the gauntlet, he's overkilling it and kind of in reality because
you don't think that he was just trying to stop his own emergence, like an emergence on his planet? Like that's how I started thinking. Yeah, because didn't Titan get destroyed?
Titan did, but it didn't.
You don't think that was you don't? Well,
I don't know if the whole because the planet didn't destroy the same way I thought Earth would have. But wait, because I thought Earth itself would completely explode. At least it looked like.
But remember what he wanted to do. He wanted to snap half of it away, and they can only be born by using the energy of the living beings. So by him snapping away half, that freezes half of emergences across the universe.
Oh yeah. He fucked it up. Yeah, that's why Earth got stopped.
Okay.
Yeah. That's exactly. Yeah, I didn't know that's what you were saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I was about to say, because by the time he did that, you know, to neutralize like the I don't think if Thanos knew he was doing it on a celestial level, but he could have, because he's an Eternal. He's an Eternal with the deviant strain. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? At least in the comic books, he's a Titan, which is related to.
And how is Eros related to him?
So I think he has either at least the same mom or same dad, if not both. He just doesn't have the deviant strain. That's his brother.
Gotcha. So they're like Esau and Jacob.
Pretty much. Pretty much. No.
Marvel's not fucking around.
No, but you know, the dope shit is that, well, I can't say dope shit because almost everything in comic books stems from something that's already in a sense existed.
I know what you mean.
So like the gods and you know what I mean? You know, but how they did it doesn't say it wasn't dope in the comic books itself, but how they're putting it into the Marvel universe is dope. Like, I couldn't at first, like, I was like one of those, like, why would they change the story or recast this character or do that? Why would you do that? Now I'm just like, take my money. Like, I trust whatever decision you're making for the most part.
I think,
I'm not saying they don't have not so good movies, but
but you know what's crazy when you're watching it in the timeline order?
Everything fits.
The not so good movies are no longer not so good.
Yeah, you don't look at it like that. You just look at it as another part of the story.
Piece of the puzzle. No. Like, it's crazy. Like, even with the whole like,
it's like you're reading a comic book.
Like the Black Knight, right? That's his name, right?
Mm-hmm.
With Kit.
Yeah.
That sword is a symbiote.
Pretty much, it's alive.
I'm telling you, there's no way that's not.
No, it definitely is, because even when in the deleted scene, when you went to like go touch it,
you seen it move like Venom.
It was like talking to him, pretty much. Yeah. That's the ebony blade's like that though. It pretty much is a living thing. It gets stronger with death. Like the more it kills, pretty much the stronger the blade gets. It feeds off of death. And that's why it says, "Death is my reward." I think it says.
Yeah.
And then Blade is the voice that you hear. The new Blade, he's the voice you hear in that says, you think you're ready for that, Mr. Whatever?
Oh, so that might not be the ebony blade, because in the comic
No, that's what he wields is the ebony blade. It's just not going to be, it's not a symbiote like the Venom is. It's just a living, but it's like pretty much alive in a sense.
It's not from space?
I can't remember if it's not from space.
All right, let me ask you another question.
It is, though.
Isn't there two blades? Because I remember in the comic book, didn't Dracula have like a fake version of the ebony blade?
I can't remember.
Pretty sure.
I can't say I read much of the Dracula comics.
From Blade's side. Because I think when Blade was trying to get a hold of
I just think most of the shit I read with Blade, for the most part, I can't say I read a lot. I always liked the character.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like the trio. I think, what did they call themselves?
Oh, you're
Midnight Suns. I think when it was Ghost Rider, Blade, and what was it, Morbius?
Oh shit!
Or is it Morbius or Morbius? Those three I think were the Midnight Suns, if I'm not mistaken, and that was dope. If they end up popping that out into the universe, which they do think they're going that, I actually kind of like the dude that they used in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'd be cool with him, but you know who else would? Who did they fucking show not long ago that would make it might possibly? Keanu Reeves
being Ghost Rider.
He kind of would make a dope one. I could kind of see it. I don't know when they said it, it just clicked. Or is that maybe it's a different character? But I'm pretty positive it's that character, and it just worked when like I initially like put how he would portray it and whatnot, because he kind of has like that emotionless blankness about him to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Mm. That like I don't give a fuck kind of like look about him in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
And Moon Knight, boy,
I can't wait to actually see that.
That outfit
just looks different. I thought it was gonna look cheesy as shit, and then when he turned and walked to the camera, I was like,
"That's probably
the eyes are a little weird for me, like the glowing eyes." I don't, but I'll probably get used to that. You know what I'm saying?
I think it works with the little ashy outfit.
Well, I just don't remember his eyes glowing.
Nah, they didn't. They were just white.
Yeah. I kind of personally think like Deadpool looking eyes would be the better route.
Yeah.
But I guess, you know what, though, at the end of the day, they got to create some mysticism about it, because that's more that like mystic,
right,
God-given ability type shit. Or not God, but gods.
Yeah.
Because that's where he got his
from
shit.
Egypt.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that in the comic book. I learned that really watching the trailer.
Oh, so I knew that in the comic book. I believe at least that's exactly
because he's possessed by a god. With having the ID,
it possessed in a sense, but like the god was pretty much like, take my power, but now you kind of have to do like my bidding in a sense. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I believe, anyways, but the multiple personality side to it is kind of like cool. So that's
some Typho Mary shit.
That I think I didn't remember, because I can't say I read a lot of the Moon Knight comics, but I always liked him as a character. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I don't think I really knew that. But you know who else is like that? Isn't really a hero per se, but Legion.
Oh yeah, that's out the Bible.
Yeah, Legion in the comic books though
has multiple personalities.
Yes, but it like does some fucked up shit. He creates Onslaught pretty much, because I think he he might cause an Onslaught, but no, that's Magneto and Charles Xavier. Charles Xavier actually causes Onslaught, but what was I gonna say? Legion, he creates the Age of Apocalypse. because he goes back and tries to like murder Magneto.
That's right.
And accidentally kills his father instead, kills Charles Xavier instead. And that's why Magneto takes over like in honor of Xavier, you know, blah, 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 blah.
But back in Age of Apocalypse, he goes bad. Yeah, Age of Apocalypse was one of the best stories.
That was dope as shit. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Magneto goes bad in that. Is that what you're saying? Magneto's the leader of the X-Men in Age of Apocalypse.
I thought he was bad.
No, he has long hair and shit. He's married to Rogue. I think they even have a kid.
Yeah, sure. Half her shit is shaved, right? They do have a kid?
I think so. Yeah, I believe so. I haven't read it in a while. I actually have the Marvel Unlimited app. I'm not in. Like when I first get it, I'm in there reading all types of shit.
Having that, you're turning virtual pages.
Mm-hmm. And not every single comic, but enough. Like they probably are up to almost 100,000 comics. They actually probably already have over 100,000 comics on there. You can almost read just about everything. You can go back and read the whole new Jim Lee X-Men series. What was that, like 91? Yeah, they have. I think they have like the issue where Wolverine gets the adamantium taken out of him. All that shit. I'm pretty positive.
How much is that a month?
Only like $10.
Oh, I'm about to dive in.
Yo,
there's no way.
I got sucked into all the Star Wars comics.
That's on there too?
Mm-hmm. A shit ton of Star Wars comics. Actually, dope ones too that are like, I think even like the new Vader one might be canon. I can't remember if they declared that or not. All right, we about to go to a break real quick. Once we come back, we got some more shit to talk about. New Boba Fett show. From there, I wanted to talk about, if we have the time, I wanted to show a video, a montage of Norm Macdonald. R.I.P. to him, but he's just a unique way of humor, you know, compared to like a lot of other comedians and so forth out there. And it's like I think he's hilarious, and I've known about him for years, but I don't know if he's for everybody, because it's like, I can't explain it. You'll see. It's like dumb, obvious, like humor in a sense, and like flat almost, but because it's that, it's fucking ridiculously funny a lot of the times. You know what I mean? I can't explain it. You'll have to see it.
We'll see.
But yeah, so we're going to a break real quick. Once we come back, we'll have some more motherfucking show and a bunch more things that we're going to talk about and all that good shit. Okay? So don't y'all go nowhere, motherfuckers.
We'll be back.
Baby. Yeah, what the fuck now? What the fuck now? Heck yo, miserable, visual, cynical, rhyme straight. Too many syllable, ready to primate. Piss poor, spoken rap, boosting the crime rate. Working class, no ones who rap overcompensate. When I rap it, don't compensate. Finger fucking mother stunner on a dinner date. Speak, nothing to show for my life. Hip hop drop out. You can lick the blood from the knife. Wolf, tell your girl that'll do, pig. Degenerate hand, I'm totally handsome. Weirdo rap, I can act right. Self-deprecation, mental midgetry, the symmetry, and miserable tantrums like. How the fuck am I not famous yet? Counting stacks on some 36 champions shit. $1 million showpiece blondes, no more heinous chicks. Fuck it, I want queens who bleed stainlesses. And a petty tracks, a pipe and a crate that lead to a secret escape in an underground tunnel under the base of a gold-plated statue that'll piss in your face of me. Ha! Feeling a find, you thinking I'm clowning, but I really do hate most of you. The DJ, the host, the 10 people in the crowd too. This is ridiculous, it's self-sabotage doing. Was it the blow to the head left for dead in the blood-soaked thread of a caved-in head? What I pled is the Easter rabbit, the drunk driving accidents. Sabotage, sneak attack by my black widow. Wannabe baby moms on my fuck everything. Red, brunette, blonde, white, black, giraffe, Sasquatch. Get off my lawn, Ron Jeremy Felonious. Sex symbol, rap image, a porn star. / Abdul-Jabbar, action figure but bigger. Never had a pillow fort. Sold drugs to my father, called the child support. My style's contort. Hanna-Barbarian bars. I like benzos and rusting out Hot Wheels cars. Good from far, but far from good. 2-bit piece of shit, wish a motherfucker would. So, best believe, I be the plumber, be like do-do-do-do-do-do. Hear your motherfucker, what? Yeah, what the fuck now? What the fuck now? Yeah, what the fuck now?
Brian and Sales.
All right. Yeah, let me give you the lowdown real quick. So I was going to take a peek at some of your vehicles there, but I heard they're major pieces of crap. You got 30 seconds to tell me why they're the best. Now.
I mean, our vehicles are recommended by Consumer Reports for the past 4 years, and 100% of our vehicles are recommended by Consumer Reports. They've got the lowest cost of ownership over a 5-year span. When you look at Kelley Blue Book, and I mean, they're a fun vehicle to drive. They get great gas mileage, and all in all, they're a pretty great car.
Hey, that was actually pretty goddamn great. I got to be honest with you. Let me ask you this. I do frequent. I'm a single guy now, divorced. I do frequent maybe paid for lady friends, if you know what I mean. How's the back seat in them things?
Pretty good.
Now, is there a full? I've never seen a full size Mazda. Is there a full size sedan or like a mid size?
Yeah, they come in a lot of different shapes and sizes. You've got our sedans all the way up to our full size SUV.
Okay.
Is there a time that works better for you to come in and take a look at them in person?
Right to the appointment. I like that, my man. You're pretty good. Let me just ask one or two more questions first, and we'll set something up, my man. Now, do you offer like a fake or Fox leather in those things, or is it all genuine?
Depending on the model that you're looking at, you'll have choice between both.
Okay, I just find that the fake stuff's easier to clean up cum stains, All right, last question from there. A lot of times there could be roadhead associated. Is there any lane departure warning systems or anything like that?
Yeah, depending on which model you go with.
Okay, all right, is it available? All right, what's your schedule looking like tomorrow?
We'll be here 9 to 9 tomorrow.
Okay.
Is there a time that works best for you?
Usually around like just after work, 6 o'clock usually. Yeah.
Perfect. And who should we be expecting?
My name's Harry. Is there? Am I available to bring down a lady or a friend a friend or two with me?
Sounds good.
Okay. Yeah. So name's Harry, and I'm sorry, your name?
Brian.
Okay, excellent, Brian. And is there any other Brians I have to worry about, or I can just ask for you?
That's it. Only one here.
All right, excellent. So come on down, and from there you'll hear Mr. Harry Balzania asking for you.
All right, sounds good. Hey, you have a good one.
Thank you, Bri. Guy.
Bye.
Yeah. What is yap? We're back in this motherfucker. Yeah, I'm gonna stop that now. Yeah, so we back. Got a chance to take a little break there. Have y'all get a chance to do whatever you have to do. Hopefully everything came out okay. I've learned not to push too hard because you might get a hemorrhoid.
Push too hard.
Or when you wipe, you see blood. Either way.
Wow.
Ever had that happen?
Wipe and see blood? No.
It's not usually anything to do with inside the asshole. It's usually on the outside. You know what I mean? Or like towards the outside.
I mean...
You ever taken a shit so big that it kind of rips you open a little bit?
I hope not. But the one thing... that's extra to think about. Only problem I've had is like... because I clean after every... that.
Right.
With a washcloth and soap. Like, I can't even go if I don't have a washcloth and soap. So
I'm almost... I can't say I do that necessarily, but I have, like, wipes and... Like, I have to clean up as much as humanly possible.
Yeah. Wipes, I feel like, don't do me justice. I feel like... In my head. I don't know what's really going on. But in my head, I don't feel like the wipes are doing it. So, what happens to me is I end up getting irritated because I scrub so hard. Like... It's like an OC. Like, that's the problem that I've dealt with there.
Yo, I feel you. Like, it amazes me how some people don't do like much and think that's okay.
Yeah,
that shit. I'm like mad self-conscious about that shit.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
as far as even getting up, like say me getting up from this seat, I would, if I took a shit and didn't clean my ass, I would think that me getting up, you could smell like the.
I would think the same thing.
Yeah,
I literally would think the same thing. Yo, it's funny too, right? I said it the other day to somebody. there's people that don't like touching their dick when they go to the bathroom. Like they avoid it touching it as much as they can, right?
Meaning like their hands are dirty type shit.
Right, because they don't want to get their hands dirty to where they have to wash their hands, right?
That's why?
Correct.
Okay.
I don't like touching my dick when I pee, even though I have to. I don't get the shit out. Because I don't want to get my dick dirty.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can wash my hands.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, how are you not concerned about your dick? Like, you're putting.
What kind of dick do you got where it's dirtying your hands?
Right. Like, that's
what are we
crazy to me. Like, mind you, I get it. Like, where you sweat and shit, like, you can get bacteria and shit.
Dick sweat?
Like ball sweat, like between the crevices of your legs. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of get like that schmegma.
What the fuck is that?
Like, if you ever. I don't know if you've ever been in like camping is an easy way to like be in this scenario.
Yeah.
When you get to a point like you camp during the summer and you sweat and you can't necessarily shower.
Yeah.
Like a day or two, you like will build up, like the sweat almost like solidifies. In your crevices. Like a lot of times you might not ever know it because after you do something like that, you go shower.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you've already cleaned it off and you didn't know it was there. So
that's crazy.
People that aren't the cleanest, that aren't circumcised, can get that shit.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, and that's another thing I'd be concerned about the sweat too. But if you had that consistently, you can actually get a bacteria infection. Or if you just have a lot of moisture down between, like from sweating and being active a lot, just in general, you can get bacterial infections. So it's like just creates rashes. You have to just put ointment on and shit. You know,
looks like jock itch. Right?
Yeah, like windburn.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's what kind of like it could feel like that and look like that. You know what I'm saying? It's all just skin irritations at the end of the day. Just some are like fungal, and where others are just fucking skin being irritated from rubbing on each other so much. It's crazy, like how our body reacts to certain things or how just certain things happen in general. The whole, really, when you start thinking of things down to like a bacterial single cell, almost like type scenarios and shit, like the fact that everything starts there and builds up is just crazy to me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And everything's the God. Whatever. Yeah.
I was literally about to say, for all we know, we're that on something.
We are that on something in just that aspect. You know what I mean? That's why like that statement was easy to say at the end of my verse. If one does is, God does.
Yeah,
but yeah, no,
that's a closer.
That's exactly I say it for the end too. Like, there's some thought, some of that shit. But yeah, no, it's like that kind of inspired in a sense that just that whole thought process to come up with that line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's dope.
Kudos to you.
Thank you. We're Celestials.
Yeah. We, technically speaking of our universe.
No.
That's why when the first time you said that, like I seen exactly what you were saying by that. And can see that because, it's like the owner of a ant farm. Or whatever, colony, ant colony.
Yeah.
Like, so as far as the ants are concerned,
they're just
living. You put the food in there, the whole nine. They just doing their thing that they naturally be doing.
Yeah.
They just have a big random eye that looks at them from time to time.
That they probably don't even notice is there.
Yeah. They just
because they're really plugging along. Talk about plugging along.
They have their job and that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? Anything that would deviate that would be like protecting the queen of the nest or, something to that extent. You know what I mean? I wonder if they get to a point too, I would imagine it probably already happens. If they get to a point where they have no food, if some would sacrifice themselves to provide nourishment for the rest of the colony.
Wow.
I don't know if they do that shit. It'll be crazy though, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty much like they will literally, it's a hive mind, That's why it's like it's cool they go that route.
I just thought about something else. So check it out. So the idea, I know the people are like, they keep talking about Celestials and Eternal, but check it out. Like,
that's what we talking about tonight.
So the idea that a Celestial plants a seed to give birth to another Celestial, and then in the process of its growth, it's growing from the energy of other beings, right? So it gets to a point where its growth causes I don't want to say annihilation, that's the wrong word, but the destruction,
apocalypse.
Yeah. Apocalyptic event
sucks all the life out of them.
And it blows up and then they're alive, right?
No.
But that's the process of going through your journey.
Well, yeah, that's just like birth, just a different way of doing it, but it's the same premise.
It's the same premise.
Start off as
but we draw energy from each other, and if it's the right energy, we become God.
Yeah, to the point where, I guess, but what makes one God to create?
Whoa.
Because you think if everything starts back from the source, it's all creation from that point forward. Everything's being created as it expands.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So does that make one God?
Yeah. I actually said
that's a God MC.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not just the lyrical capability. It's just the whole mind, thought, the whole nine. That's the spark, the Big Bang.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, it takes it a step further, is that if you really think about it, if anything that becomes either that's already established as a God, as yourself looking at it as God of one's universe or whatever, like you think about it, it's all creation that you've created. You created that scenario. Some things, maybe the birth of it, or like, I don't want to, how do I say this? How do I word this? Maybe some things that happen from the point forward, not everything's necessarily in your control, but that chaos in itself is creating more scenarios. So that's all sparking from a single source.
Yeah.
So does that make one one God?
Yeah.
No.
It's just fucking
That's
nuts.
crazy. That's crazy, yeah. You think about it, everything's the creation of something.
Yeah, because even like the pecking order, right? Because on the planet, the Eternals were gods.
Yeah.
They don't look at themselves as that.
No.
They're kind of like angels in a sense.
Well,
if you're looking at if you're looking at them categorically.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got the people, they would be the angels, and then what created them would be the gods, so to speak.
So that's what I always thought with like the gods in general, like even with like Zeus.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, you're the god of, the king of gods, and you throw lightning, but obviously, like, that came from something else.
Well, Zeus is the son of Kronos.
Right. But Kronos is a Titan. Which is crazy, too. You know what I'm saying? So, exactly. What created Kronos? And then from there, what created that? And what created that?
It's always going to be an infinite. It's the Russian doll.
That's why, when I used to, think about shit before, I'm like, why did this civilization believe in multiple gods? Or not civilization necessarily, but people in general.
Yeah.
And then why to get to a single God? But you think about it, it's got to be one source, though. At one point, at the very beginning,
it can't be.
It's
you believe that?
Almost, yeah. Like two things or more created at once, or did one just?
It's always gonna take. It's always gonna. Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? Because even look at it as single cell organisms. It started off as one, and it just popped into two, and then 4, 8, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? No, that would actually be 16 would be next. Sorry.
That's like mitosis and all that shit, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I was gonna say osmosis, but no, osmosis is transferring form or whatever. From solid to, I don't know if it's specifically from solid to liquid. Whatever. I ain't Bill Nye.
So when you take one, right? You take the yin and the yang. It's one symbol,
but it's still one circle encompassing.
That's what I'm trying. Encompassing two. So
right.
In that oneness, there's a duality.
Right.
Follow me? So it's still two, modeled as one.
So think about this too, right? So there's multiple dimensions, right?
Yeah.
So think about this though. There's still one universe that all of those multiple verses live in. So it's still one. Now, that also could be a part of another thing, but even that's encased into another master universe. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day,
have to think on that one. That one's tough.
At the all day, I really think it still comes to one. I think
you got me on that one. I'm gonna spend my day tomorrow on that one because that one's deep.
Yeah, I honestly, like that right there, out of all my conversation, thrills me more than anything else. The fact that I have you going,
no, that's shirt. Yo, no, that's crazy because you're right. Like the one is holding a bunch.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's like a picture. It's still, there's a shit ton of things in that picture, and one thing could be more dominant than the other or create in that image, right? But still, there's still something that houses that.
Right. So
and then a house houses a picture.
That's what I was about to say. 'Cause I was about to say, look at the picture on the wall. You see all the shit, but then that's on the wall, right? And then we're in the house.
Just a larger picture.
And we're in the house, right? And then the house is in the city, and the city is in the state, and the state is on. You see what I'm saying? It's like it's still,
and it goes down to even the one blotch of ink
Wow. Oh.
Right down to the one chemical within the ink, and that's encased within the outer edge of the ink, dominated by the rest of it's the dominant color scheme, and the one in the picture is also kind of housing the rest in a sense. It's like, yo, it's but still down to one. It can only ever be
So it's like
one.
a Mandelbrot set.
A what?
You know a fractal?
I know. I know of a fractal. I can't say I know in detail.
A fractal is a piece of the Mandelbrot set. The Mandelbrot set is basically like the fractal shape, which kind of looks kind of like a beetle. And when you zoom in, as you start to zoom in, you see that all the points of that fractal are actually smaller points of the giant fractal.
Mm.
And you just keep zooming in, and you just keep going.
That's an infinite.
It is.
No.
But it's also oneness in a way.
It really is still, because it's still all in coming down to one thing. Inside that one fractal contains those.
I'm
and then
the
those
most
contains
stumped
those.
I've ever been in my life.
Wow.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
I really am. Because, like, damn, like, that fucks up a lot of shit that I believe, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it like
my bad.
No, that's cool. I'm with that.
That's a higher element.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bring it to the next level. Mind you, I can't say that I literally just thought about this right here on the spot.
No, because I'm really thinking about what's housed in two. And it's like
There's
nothing.
really nothing. It's still housed in something. You know what I mean? One way or another, there's one
crazy.
thing that contains it. Like, there really is
That's
nothing.
so disturbing to me. What the fuck, yo?
But no, because at the end of the day, I would say it's just adding to whatever you believe.
No. It's
it's
not taking away, but it
already
it,
what
now
you believe in a sense, because it doesn't deny everything that you think may be how it is.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily deny that. It just adds another layer on.
Right.
Like all it really is doing is adding another layer on. You know what I mean?
Which is housed.
Oh man, yeah, that's some crazy shit.
Holy shit. That fucked up the whole podcast. I'm gonna be looking like at everything like, wow.
I'm actually, I can't. I tell you what, I'm already at right now looking at things and seeing how it's all still down to starting with one thing.
Yeah,
that's crazy. But it's crazy to think it all starts with one thing. But does it ever but does it also end with one thing?
Okay, let me focus on the first part first.
Yeah. Whoa! I don't know. I don't almost think anything ends
in oneness.
With oneness, though,
you return back to the one.
Maybe your spirituality or whatever,
everything,
but
you go back to the essence. So the essence is that oneness in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can always say that, right? But at the end of the day, that oneness isn't one thing anymore.
What do you mean?
Unless that one thing
is one
specifically ends. And just ceases into nothingness.
Right,
but then it becomes a part of that nothingness. So it's still a part of something. Right.
That's how I feel like it goes back to the oneness.
I get, but that's still that one thing contains a lot of those things in a sense.
Yeah, but no, we're not going there. It still ends up being one because it's housing many.
But it's still housed in that one thing. Yeah.
Or no, the one is housing many.
Yeah, always.
And then those many things in it are one parts
of another
thing that it's housing many things.
Right.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Is there layers to nothingness though?
Of course, there's always going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's multi dimensions in a sense right off the bat, kind of already.
Yeah, because there's a level of consciousness that's nothingness. You know what I mean? Even nothingness is conscious. You know what I mean? It's a part of the subconscious.
Is it conscious because you're conscious of the nothingness, or it just is what it is? Like
you're saying, is it conscious only because we're conscious of it?
Correct.
Or is it conscious itself?
Yes, it has like its own life in a sense.
Well, I think I believe it's conscious because we're giving it thought, and I think that's what they've all said. It's like this only
where does
exists
that end
we're
then?
something is thinking this into existence, which is a scary thought in itself because it goes back to some one thing that decided to think about that thing.
Even the conventional creation of things blows my mind, though.
Oh, yeah,
right?
that's scary shit.
Getting to the point of thinking of this type of material to make for this banner, like how that originally stemmed into play. So it's like, all right, we knew at one point wearing animal fur would keep us warm, right? But then we looked for plant-based ways to produce those results and then produce them on a much more grand level.
Right.
But then at some point, somebody said, you know what, though? If you mix this fabric in with it, it becomes even stronger. You know what? If you do it primarily made of this material, it becomes even stronger. You know what? If you use this particular plant and crush it up, it makes it dye. Now you've changed it from its natural to red.
So, but what they try to say is that all came from basically natural selection. Some of that I can't believe. Some of it I feel like it had to.
So that's where you have to have that conversation of were we intervened upon one way or another?
Yeah, there had to be an
I think one way or another we're intervened regardless.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like when does the one person branch away, like when they're down at the most barbaric level at that day and age? When does one break away and go, you know what? If you do this, you'll get this result? Or were they so concerned on just fucking surviving?
Unless it's literally like goes back to like what I was saying, where us being technology, that some actually come here kind of updated.
Well, yeah, I mean, because if you look at it like in the Anunnaki manner or like that type of intervention, that's really the same thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If they're coming down, altering us, it's still building us. And then, there's a level of who built the original that was already here at a biological sense.
Yeah.
Was that just naturally occurring, or was there also something that created all that, like put it together
sped it along
a person playing a video game?
Yeah.
So now what about like to the level of that then in that video game? Do those people exist?
In the game?
They believe in their own existence.
You're asking me if the actual
does it go down to that level to where that's where we're pretty much are in a sense?
That's what I feel.
I mean, where does it? I don't think that what's crazy is games could get to that level too.
That's what's going to happen, and that's why I said it's inevitable. And how do we know we aren't already that? If we're going there, because it has to come to that.
Yeah, when you go to sleep, that's when they stop playing. They're just kind of how much they whatever.
They're past having to play. Now they're connected by consciousness, and we're just avatars.
Right. Or you know what? They're not connected to us, and that's at all. They're just completely observers.
No, we're connected because that's how they remember that there is a part of them that's human. Because now they would be on God level. So once you hit God level, you need to feel alive. So now you have to have something that's gonna basically,
what dictates that?
Put it this way. Check it out. Check it out.
What dictates that statement?
You work. I'm about to on us doing it on a smaller scale. So check it out. There's a lot of people on this planet that work very, very hard. Not all of them, but most of them hit a certain point where they need to be rewarded for that hard work. What do? They have to unwind and decompress, and they find ways to feel alive. I don't think that changed when we move up on the evolutionary scale from dealing with higher intelligences.
Having something that brings meaning, like reward.
So Celestials,
earning towards something, whatever it is.
So the Celestials on their level, doing what they're doing, they're gonna get bored. That's how they got to that point to do what they're doing.
Oh yeah, that's what. Yeah,
right?
Experimentation started.
Now that they now that the Eternals intervened and spared human life and stopped the emergence.
Well, they said they're coming back for judgment.
But check it out. He had to care.
Spoilers.
No, but check it. You heard me? He had to care because if he was fully detached, he would have just ended them right there.
Yeah, true.
So there's a part of his celestial being that he felt.
Well, that's why he took him. That's why he took him. He's like, let me see what makes them so special.
You see? So now he's feeling which he detached from originally.
Are you also, but if you look at that as existing on a level that, like, the masses believe with God and Jesus and everything and whatever prophet, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of almost like we don't see gods or whatever walking anymore, supposedly, because they just kind of gotten bored with Earth and moved on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think they're there.
Yeah.
I think they're there. I remember my mom.
I think everything starts from something, right? Like all the gods, whatever. Like nothing just started that way.
Yeah.
Like there had to be something that was mistaken as or
It's
really
rooted
did
in some
see.
truth.
Right. Yeah. It started from somewhere. There's like even people that have written things later on that try to.
They're loaded up over there.
Oh, try to make it.
Oh.
I love the calls. Oh, are you guys someone trying to call? Oh, are you talking about the pranks? Yeah, someone was saying that they'd love the prank. I can't see any fucking names. God damn it. Whatever, we'll get that. I'll figure something out for that.
Well,
I think you just have to download that. But yeah, so if you kind of like look at it a lot of times, like there's always periods throughout our day and age where there was like seemed to be more intervention. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was like God's walking among us or whatever the case may be. But you notice again why there was multiple gods. They only usually specialized in one thing. They only had one avenue. I always wondered, like, how did that concept ever become about? Whether it was just back to the man's civilized thought beginning, right? Mm-hmm. Wherever the point that may be, however that occurred, the fact that they've come up with these individual scenarios and like did it truly gravitate towards everyone believing in just one power, right? Or did that happen to become more convenient to not have it all broken up? You know what I'm saying? Have all these different churches and different.
I think it became more convenient and depending on the era and depending on what the ulterior motive was of.
Or do you really
being
think someone really like they really just brought it to one source? You know what I'm saying?
I think there's cases where beings could have possibly showed up at some point. Probably not even the beings that are as powerful as they're fucking leading you on to believe.
Technology just might have been.
Yeah, they might just, but they more advanced than you guys.
Look at us coming down here at our level. It's back to those days,
right? And then them kind of like bestowing a certain power to whatever individual that seems the most advanced. Or
what if it's just regular old humans just going back in time? We finally got to a point and where we going back in time and we get seen or we do something with the technology level that we're at. That's really just our everyday conveniency and it gets mistaken. And that's what actually has started all religion.
You saying our technology started to?
Yeah, I'm just coming up with a complete what if scenario.
So we're in a Aurora Boreas.
I know I've heard that
the
term.
Snake eating the
tail. Yeah.
So like it's really the beginning is the end and the end is the beginning.
Well, yeah,
type of shit.
That's crazy.
I could see that, and you would never know.
Well,
you know what I mean? Because
I
of the loop,
definitely see that happening.
We're in.
Right.
But I literally was standing in the hallway yesterday. I swear to you that this shit happened. It was beyond a deja vu. No, I swear to you. He was saying, like, the principal was saying some shit to this kid, and I'm like, yo, this fucking happened. Like, this is not.
What? Can you say it?
No, the kid was trying to fight. We were trying to de-escalate the situation. And the words that the principal was saying to him, down to what he was wearing, where I was standing, it was beyond a deja vu. I've had deja vu, but this was almost like, no, this is an event.
I've been in this scenario.
Happened. You know what I mean? It's not like I felt this before. No, this happened. Like, and it seems soon. Like I just seen this shit. So
either one of them, like, did you say anything to either one of them?
But this happens every time I refrain from doing the most. Like if I stop burning, you know what I mean? I become more, I guess, I don't want to say intuitive, but just more connected.
I was going to say, I think your intuition's so strong that you know if this continues to repeat, you're going to experience it again. Maybe it's more of a precursor. You know what I'm saying?
It's all scary shit, though.
Yeah, I mean, if you're one way or another, if that's happening, it's no like a little thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it's really only happening
it's not a little thing. I when that was happening, I was.
Is this the first time
of that capacity to where I felt like it was an actual moment that took place versus a deja vu? Because deja vu is more of a feeling. Like I feel like this happened before. It wasn't a feeling. It was like this fucking happened. And I was just trying to figure out where, how, like, so he's in the moment of giving the kid the spiel, and I'm trying to figure out, yo, how did this, like, what the fuck is this? Like, in my head, I'm bugging. Dead serious. Straight bugging. And that was yesterday. But yeah, there's a lot of like shit that I be like thinking about, as well as you. That's just nuts. Like nuts.
I've always, so, you know, what doesn't make it easy for me, right? Or actually kind of makes it easy for me is that I already have such a fucking crazy imagination as it is. So for those type of things to be a possibility, like, or something new gets said, like, it allows my mind to just go, oh, but what if this, and like, that would be cool if this. So a lot of that shit's like, wouldn't that be cool in a sense, but could turn into some real like, oh shit, maybe that's actually crazy. Because
like we've talked about before, is like everything that we've learned, we've been told.
Yeah. One way or another.
So that alone leaves room for all impossibility. I mean, all possibilities, not impossibilities.
Here's the thing that correlates with that, though, right? So when you think you get to a point when you had an original idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do we know if it's truly original? Because who else might have thought of that same idea? Everyone at one point has thought, in my opinion, almost has thought about an idea in a sense.
So there's a theory, the source field. It's a book by David Wilcox, and he believes that there's a field of thoughts that we draw from, and some people, you like say like you have the idea and you don't use it, it goes up. Again? It's called The Source Field by David Wilcox. And what's crazy about him, right? When I'm reading his books, I hear his voice in my head. It's the scariest shit ever.
We'll leave it on that for now.
You heard?
Actually, I'll put. I'm trying. I just wanted to get this into my Amazon cart real quick.
I hear his voice in my head when I'm reading.
Yeah?
Like it's like he's reading it to me.
Oh, so I have authors that are kind of like that. Yeah.
That you hear their voice in your head. That's scary shit.
Yeah, and in a sense, I always kind of, I can't say I don't read in my voice, but I'm always kind of like putting a voice to shit regardless.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't do that.
So
I don't even know the voice I'm using actually. That's weird.
I think I always kind of in a sense read like how, even if it's to a light degree,
yeah,
it's kind of in a form of how, like, I'm not like saying the words.
Yeah, you're hearing.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, but I really, from the most part, when it comes to like fictional pieces, not necessarily saying it's based on something fictional, but especially when it's like telling a story, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I can't say I necessarily, if I don't know how they sound, then I can't do that. Like if it's just a straight nonfiction book,
right.
Factual.
Right.
If I don't know how they sound, then I kind of just read. There is no voice. I'm just absorbing.
Or is it?
I think no, for me, in most cases, no, because I'm only entertaining the actual things that are being said. I don't give a fuck. Like, I can't say I've never thought about how they might sound when, like, they might say a sentence, and I'm like, I'm wondering how he.
No, not like that.
There is.
No, not like that. But like, it's just something that we don't think about.
No, not really.
Like when you're reading, you're not really thinking about like what
you have to specifically be talking about the conversation of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You have to, or have the conversation of. Yeah, there's not too many things I think that exist that are like that. If you think about it,
that's like the most odd thing. But that's where you can kind of like get into the conversations with religious people about God.
And also, too, does it exist because we think it does?
Which part?
Like
the voice?
Yeah. Like, does the voice only exist because we think a voice may exist? Because we're the only ones thinking the voice.
That's why if someone tells me they hear something, I never dispute it because maybe you did. Who am I to tell you? I'm not. It's not for me to hear. You know what I mean? I remember my children's mother's brother was diagnosed with like schizophrenia, and the whole time before he was diagnosed, he was telling us he had like symbols on his hands and shit. So he would go to the doctor doctor be like, nah, prescribe a medication, all this type of shit. So when I found out, I'm like, nah, come in here. So he comes into the room. I'm like, I want you to draw all the symbols that are on your hand. He was pointing to them. Clearly, I can't see them, right? He's pointing to them. Tell him to draw him. Tell me I look these symbols up. They're actual real symbols. You know what I mean? Like he had Wiccan symbols.
That's crazy.
All over his hands, and he's not into this.
Wow.
Symbols that represent planets. He drew them. Like,
without actually using reference?
Without no reference. You want to know something else crazy? My daughter.
That's real crazy.
My daughter drew Saturn. So at 3 years old in painting. I still have the painting. She drew Saturn, the asteroid belt.
But let me ask you this, though, as far as this other person's concerned, right? They've done no research on these symbols.
None.
They don't know them.
No.
Don't know they originate.
No.
And like not kind of looking like spot on.
As far as I know, no.
No.
He was drawing them. First of all, it
wasn't like, it was like, no.
No,
Exactly
immediately. He said,
look.
I said, what's here? He said, do. I said, what's here? Do. So what I did was start pulling up words, and then the words had symbols. And then I would look, and then it was associated with a planet. Some were Wiccan symbols. I'm like, this is nuts. And here it is. The doctor is saying, oh, he's got schizophrenia.
Yeah, just put him on medication.
Yeah, which now he don't see the symbols. He'll tell you. So now he don't have the vision.
But how far was that going for him to where it was, affecting his life?
It was affecting. But at the same time,
you know what I mean? It sucks that you could potentially lose something like real, either beautiful or
we were on the fringe
enlightenment or positive, right?
Yeah.
But it comes at such a great cost.
Yeah, like we would wake up in the middle of the night that we had to like find him. Like he would just leave out the house. Like it would be like 4 a.m. and we got to go search for him.
It's almost like selfish on different levels for multiple parties in that scenario. You know what I'm saying?
In the sense of nobody believing it.
Because even letting him continue to be it without the medication, in a sense, is selfishness. Because do you see what I'm going here? It's almost like a balance, almost like a yin and yang in a sense.
No, it's it's the celestial eternal thing.
Yeah, that's great. Exactly.
It is.
Right. Do you allow the fucking death of one thing to
give birth to another?
And what's better?
And that's the thing. You'll never really know.
No, that's crazy in itself. That's crazy in itself, yo. You know what's crazy too? The fact that you could know everything and still not know nothing at all.
I actually realized I know nothing at all.
It takes a different level of understanding to realize that.
I actually know nothing.
Right. Like, I think I know so much. Again, like this shit that exists, it's established, but in reality, I don't know. Like.
I think that levels you up right there.
Yeah, that's a whole different kind of understanding in a sense.
Yep. You're not boxed in.
No, to completely believe that one thing exists and know that it doesn't exist at all. That's some like mind, that could actually like drive you mad.
Yes,
you know
I've
what I
been
mean?
there.
Right. The fact that at the end of the day, there's one thing. That literally like that you could dive so far into that your whole world
that's the rabbit hole,
and that's one thing that's created a whole new
you go down that one hole and it splits into channels.
Always splits into channels, and the fact that all of that though comes back down to the whatever the flick on.
That shit is fucking nuts.
That shit. Oh, yeah. You know what I decided that I'm going to get? One of the animations of the thing that comes up and you click on it.
You buy one of those or something?
No. Oh. Just get the animation somehow. I might actually have to buy it. I might buy it from a graphic artist. I'm actually going to finally get us an intro, like animated one and shit like that too. And one for just Marvici Media in general.
Yeah.
So.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I'm going down all that. Yeah, PF. You gots to, man. You gots to. I just realize more and more, like, at the end of the day.
Invest in yourself.
Yeah, it really shows, like, how serious you're going to be in it, And I'm not
People
saying
look at that.
Yeah, I'm not saying you go and spend all your money. I'm not saying that. Just use one. Don't be afraid to use one thing to get another thing going, and at least giving it a shot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But expect that if you stop doing one thing, the other thing's not going to happen.
Right.
You know, one thing is really a direct. It's all like, at the end of the day, it's all about what you're willing to sacrifice, right? But no matter what you're doing, you're sacrificing for another thing. You know, in a sense, you're like, all right, I'm either going to take the chance and go with what I think I want, because a lot of times when you get it, you find out you don't want it, right? Or, you know, playing it safe and saying that's something that at least gives you security. Like, you're always sacrificing one or the other.
I feel like I've never played it safe. I feel like I've always taken risks my entire life. Just with discounting dumb shit though.
Fucker.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Discounting dumb shit. I'm not talking about like niggas like, yo, let's go rob this bank, and I'm like, let's take the risk.
Right.
Nah.
I get you.
You know what I mean? But like when it comes to like some shit that I really, really believe in, and someone is like, I mean, I'm dealing with it now. Where there's coworkers of mine, they're like, yo, don't trust this person. This person's gonna stop this, stop that. And I don't listen to that. I just keep moving, and it works.
Just do what you do, yeah.
Right. But again, there's other instances where you can kind of feel you're like, nah, that ain't right and exact.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree with you. You know what? I look at it as like your relationship or experience with this person. And I'm not saying that this person may not fuck me over.
Right. But let me find out.
Right. And I also will at least try my best not to put myself in the situation where that individual can fuck me over.
Right.
Unless they personally fire me.
Yeah.
Then what the fuck am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I also look at it, what did I do to get onto this person's radar like that, in that manner?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Where now it's you against him.
Did I not listen to, what is it, rule number 1?
What?
Of the 4?
Never outshine the master.
Yeah. You know, is it because of that, or because you refuse to do something that they ask you to do, or do you stay on a level to whereas they don't want to ask you for additional shit because they like exactly what you do?
You gotta know
what I'm saying?
You gotta know your position, even if your position is equal to the next person's position.
You have to be in honors in English to read the room.
That shit is a bar. I was like,
that shit is a fucking dope ass bar.
I was like, yeah, this dude's crazy.
Just going on out here.
Yeah, rub that out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's definitely a dope line. But yeah, I think you kind of can at least size up a situation from, you know, just looking at someone, observing them and so forth to kind of already get an initial feel of how you just want to approach this person anyways. So I generally begin that way every time, and then I just get to a level of like where I'm just liked. And then I also try to not fly. I always try to fly under the radar in a sense.
Yeah.
But, and not to say I don't let certain things slip to where I stop paying attention to it. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess at the end of the day, you're not human, you know, if you don't, whatever. So, but I think I always try to make sure that I contain my situation to live in a comfortable, to my level of what I consider comfortable. And, but at the end of the day, I still do play to certain people's shit. I see what for that, you know, what
emotional intelligence.
I see what they, you know, how they are, and I realize like, okay, this is how I approach this person. You know what I'm saying? So I try to keep it to where, again, unless I just like get out straight fucked and I have no control over it, I try never to find myself in that position.
Yeah.
So when this person's like, don't trust this person, and I've also come to find out there's always more to the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you find out that someone's been fired, right, unjustly because they wanted to like, you know, go to their kid's football game, you know, or whatever, and didn't go to work. But you come to find out it was like on a very important day, and you never really had like the permission or whatever you think you really did have.
You didn't request it off. You didn't do none of the things you needed to do.
And now in that situation, you're possibly even putting more work on those people because there's so day-to-day things that have to get done. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you know, it's all relative. Like, again, you know, there's always one or two ways a decision. Like, once a decision's made, there's two. There might be a multitude of different ways, but there's definitely always two immediate ways.
Right.
Things that happen immediately after. You know what I'm saying? Cause and effect.
Yes.
So yeah,
reaction to
so
the
you come to find out like, oh, you're not innocent in this situation,
Right.
But or they may feel dignified in their mind,
which is usually the case.
A lot of times it is the
Yeah,
case where like you can see where they're right.
Right,
But it
because
doesn't make it like right, but
it's
it is
subjective. Like if
it
there's
is.
rules, you can say, okay, you're wrong.
Yeah,
because there's things in play.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, yo, if you see it that way, you see it that way. Who am I to? But this is the repercussion of that way. That
yeah,
you see.
exactly. No matter what, this is still what happened. You know what I mean? Whether it's misunderstood or not. You know. You know, that's funny because that's another reality in itself that like that situation happens regardless of what was the reason, what steps led to whatever, you know what I'm saying, or thought process. It doesn't matter.
No,
there's all still something that really happens.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like another way that gets set into motion.
And to humble yourself in the presence of that hierarchy. Follow me? Even if you feel you're superior. If you really feel you're superior, you actually don't have to prove your supremacy. That's real superiority.
That's true.
To be able to be humble enough to allow somebody else to be superior is supremacy. Not you trying to dictate and control and do all that. Like, you should have that's why I said the female lion is better than the male lion, because the female does the hunting, right? And you know how long they in them documentaries, they make it seem like it happens in like a couple seconds, but they be following shit for days and doing all types of shit, all to get that meal, bring it back to however far they got to bring it back, and they let the cubs and the father eat, and they eat last.
So you know what's crazy though? So the lions are like the females are stronger in that sense, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily make them better. You want to know why?
Why? Please tell me.
Because the male lion is established his situation to where he don't have to do none of that, and he reaps the benefits.
No, but
so who's the real kind of mastermind or like the real strength in that situation?
The one who has the discipline to be humble. That's the strength.
Yeah, I will agree with that.
The male is exerting his dominance because he is who he is. But in reality, the female, and I shouldn't even be using gender because that's not fair.
No, but you want to know why that happens though? Is because at the end of the day, the female lions have it into them that a one-on-one, this male will still fuck me up.
You feel
know
that way?
I do in a sense, because not even that they don't have the capability, I think they mentally just feel that way. So that's the reality. You know, if they actually maybe even try to fight one-on-one, they may, who knows? I'm not saying they can't win, you know what I'm saying? But I think that, you know, somewhere along the line, the male kicked the female's ass.
So there's a respect.
And you're like, yeah.
Which goes back to humility.
So again, though, at the end of the day, like,
because what's
the real power in that situation?
I'm about to show you. So
because the lion gets the male gets it and doesn't even have to lift a finger, really.
Let's say he does the hunt
to stay in his position. He's got to do shit though.
Let's say he get. Well, hold on. Before I
because a male got to fight off other males. That shit happens all the time.
Yeah, but check it out. If you switch roles, the male lion would never be able to do that. He's
not built for it.
Well, I'm saying no. Besides,
but they.
I'm saying
but they do that. You want to know how I know?
Go hunt and bring it back to
not necessarily on the humble level to bring it back to the others. I'm saying they will kill solely by themselves
and eat there,
right? Yeah,
because he can't control his temptation.
Don't they usually bring the family with them, or like at least closer to so that way they don't have to drag it back all the way.
The pride is moving.
Yeah.
But there's a distance, because you got to remember this is
they cover ground.
Yeah,
too.
and they can't have their cubs out there running around as hyenas.
Yeah, because there's no telling where they make the kill compared to where everyone else is. Yeah.
But when that male gets whatever, he eats on the spot.
So this is one thing I will say too, though. At the end of the day, that's crazy. Is that in reality, though, it doesn't matter if one single female can take a male, because there's more females than the male, so they naturally could dethrone the motherfucker. Anyways, you know what? That would be crazy if they did. I don't know if they did or not, or if they don't, it would be cool if they did. Is they really was like a democracy in the sense that, like, if you got to the point where they didn't like you anymore, like you weren't servicing them in the manner that you needed to, whatever a male lion does, right? They overthrew the motherfucker and put a new male in the place.
I seen that in Star Trek. I started watching old episodes of Star Trek, and there was a whole planet of black people, And listen to this shit. I've seen Star Trek with a whole planet of blonde white people, and I've seen Star Trek with a whole planet of black people. Right? Old Star Trek. I'm talking about not Kirk, but Picard and company,
yeah.
right? So check
Next
it out.
Generation or whatever.
They went to the planet. No, they didn't go to the black planet just appears out of nowhere. So they're like, yo, what's going on there? Next thing you
Everyone's doing crip dance and shit down there.
You're just eating fried chicken. Yo, alien fried chicken.
Right.
The black people just, what's that shit they do?
The Harlem Shake.
Yo, I'm done with you. Stop. Yo. What's the shit that they, I'm talking about when they teleport, what do they call it?
Oh, like beam me up.
That shit.
Yeah, they're beaming up or whatever.
They just beamed on the Enterprise.
Oh, shit.
Like 2 or 3 of them. Black people, right? Yo, tell me why the leader, the king, or whatever he was, straight stole a white woman, listened to this shit, and brought her to his planet and had it to where so basically when he stole her and brought her to his planet, the Enterprise or the fleet had to go over to that planet and fight to get the white woman back because he wanted this white woman. Meanwhile, he's got a black woman queen, right? The white woman has to fight. The fucking Enterprise ends up fucking making some deal behind the scenes where they pretend like the white woman beat the black woman or some crazy shit, and then when they all go behind the scenes, it was all a ploy, and the black woman is actually running the planet. Come to find out, he's the face of it. And once she realized that he actually wanted this white woman, she takes his necklace off of his neck and puts it on his best friend, and now he's the new face. Just like that. Over. You wanted her, now you're out of here.
Yeah, you got her.
Yeah. And then they took their white woman back to the Enterprise.
They just left without.
But it was the dope white woman. You know the one with the short hair and the green outfit? Yeah, she's dope. Yeah, black man came over there, he said, damn. Yeah, we taking you back home. Wifey gotta wait. That's him
funny.
like, yo, that's grinding.
That's crazy, but then just instantly replaced.
They had to fight to the death, the both women.
Oh, shit. That's crazy.
And she's in charge. How about he did that?
Right.
Always fucking up.
Right.
He's not even in charge.
But it's crazy, though. You think about it. Dudes at one degree or another, generally speaking, are just fucking up. Just doing some dumb shit.
On any planet.
Right.
Like, yo, you're on a whole other planet fucking up. Like, in the distant future, like, yo, stop playing. There's mad shit going on and you're still fucking up.
Shit.
Now, the flip side to that, the white people planet, they're half naked, skipping around the planet, and they pray to a god that the Enterprise knows is not real. It's a ship that's controlling a whole planet. Yep. And they're skipping around. Everything's about love. They're blonde hair. Everyone's blonde hair, blue eyes. The whole planet. Jesus Christ. When Riker gets there, he's like, yo, he is on fire. He's looking at all these blonde white women skipping around. Riker is like, yo, I am on it. He radio Picard like, yo, we got a lot of white women down there.
Yo, the dude with the visor.
Oh, Geordi? Yeah, he was able to see. He said, white women?
He took his shit off.
He probably radioed the black planet.
Yo, Picard's like, don't tell him.
Yo. But yeah, you watch some old Star Trek episodes, there's mad gems in that shit.
Yeah, I used to kind of watch, but I don't know, I never could take Star Trek as serious.
Because of Star Wars.
Yeah. I was like, you have this that exists, that's all that extra shit, and this.
What made me start doing it is because
there was some
they
dope
say
shit,
they
though.
hide shit and and shit that's corny all the time. They hide like the most illest occult knowledge that you can ever find. Yeah, that's shit that's the most boring.
Just that story right there in itself is like crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the fact that someone created that, came up with that idea
on both sides,
right? Or even just like the actual writers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying on both sides, like to create a white planet and a black planet, and then their cultures, their customs were completely different.
So I love doing that shit.
Yeah.
But that's it for our goddamn show, man.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. It's it's not so hard. You know,
I'll tell that to the other guys.
Shots fired. No, man, we look forward to coming back next week and seeing y'all again. Make sure, again, if you haven't, you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Visit us at marvichimedia.com. More great things on the horizon, man, as far as music's concerned, and just all types of stuff that I'm excited about. And we're going to try and, like I said, really put into fruition that it's actually already being worked out. It's nice.
Yes, sir.
So, we'll see you next Thursday, 8 p.m. Be here, Eastern. By the way,
it said Eastern. Eastside.
If you didn't know. All right, man. We'll see you next week. We appreciate y'all.
Peace.
Stuck in my ways with this awkward thinking, my thoughts is it gotta be more. The devil out here, he working, make you trapping for show. While my niggas out in the trap, and they trapping for show. A couple cars and some bitches, they ain't reaching for more. But they don't give a fuck, cause that's the way they was raised. They teach us all this dumb shit at a very young age. We throw them J's on our kids' feet, don't teach them to struggle. We flash that cash in the face, and don't show them the hustle. A bunch of lazy kids we're raising, I'm guilty myself. I'm trying to shift the racial kinks so they can fit for themselves. But truth be told, I don't even know where this world's headed. We got Trump in the office, man, America's pathetic.
Tears from my lonely eyes, but I don't know what's going on. Trying to figure this shit out, but I don't know what's going on.
The world is all fucked up, trying to get my bucks up, trying to get my mind right with God, but I'm stuck up in these streets, so the devil gotta eat my brains up. Many trying to eat my brains up. I was told that I never amount to nothing. I'll be here forever until I got my shit together. Then I took a slip and fell, and I'm right back here. I guess that saying is true. Fuck that. You can believe it if you want, or you can switch things up. I'm 10 toes in these streets, man. I'll never be stuck. It ain't all about pushing weight, but if I have to do it today, I'll do it. Stop listening to what they saying in the music. Half these rappers broken, stuck. Never push the gram. If my kid's starving, I take what's up in your hand. Now I ain't gotta do that, cause God got me covered. And now I ain't gotta take from my brother.
Tears from my lonely eyes, but I don't know what's going on. Trying to figure this shit out, but I don't know what's going on.
The world is all fucked up, trying to get my bucks up, trying to get my mind right with God, but I'm stuck up in these streets, so the devil gotta eat my brains up. Many trying to eat my brains up. The world is all fucked up, trying to get my bucks up, trying to get my mind right with God, but I'm stuck up in these streets, so the devil gotta eat my brains up. Many trying to eat my brains up.